Hey y'all, today we're making a pig pickin' cake. Okay, so go ahead and get your oven preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And then you're going to need, I got 2 cans of oranges because I used a little bit to kind of garnish the top. But for the actual cake, you only need 1 can. So you need one, it's a 15-ounce can, I believe, of the mandarin oranges. So what you're going to do is drain the juice. You're going to need a half a cup of this juice that we're going to reserve, okay, because we're going to use that for something and then use the oranges for something else. So get a half a cup out of your can and then just drain the rest, okay? Go ahead and get them draining now so that you don't add a whole bunch of extra liquid in when we're making the cake. So go ahead and add, and I'm going to use my stand mixer, but you could definitely use a hand mixer for this, or you can try to stir it by hand if you want to. You know, do whatever you want to do in your own kitchen, honey. So you're going to add 1 box of yellow cake mix and 1 stick of softened butter, okay? And y'all know half the time I forget to soften mine, I'll pop it in the microwave for a few seconds. It softens it right on up. Then you're going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla and 4 eggs, okay? And if y'all don't know, if you've never heard of a pig pickin' cake or you're wondering why this crazy name, you know, where it comes from, it came from, and I had to look it up, y'all, because I've known about a pig pickin' cake, you know, my whole life, but I never knew really why we called it that, so I Googled it for y'all to give y'all a little information. And the reason they call it a pig pickin' cake is it was kind of the cake of choice that people used to serve when they would have like a whole hog cooking. So if you've never done that, it's, you know, they kind of bury the hog and cook it anyway, or, you know, cook it over a fire, whatever, however you cook your hog. But you would cook a whole hog and then you would have to pick the meat off of it. So that's why they called this a pig pickin' cake, because it was the dessert served at the pig picking. So there you go, you learned something today. So, and look, we're gonna learn something else. Look at that. I found a seed in my mandarin oranges. Look at that. So make sure you check them oranges. So, you know, like I said, you're going to mix your cake up and make sure you drained those oranges real good. And then you're just going to fold those in. It's okay if some of those fall apart. You know, they're kind of delicate if you've ever, you know, had like mandarin oranges. They, you know, they don't stay together real well when you get to beating them up when you're stirring them. So some of them are going to fall apart, and that is okay. But, you know, don't stir it so much that, you know, they all end up in tiny pieces, because you do want a little bite of that mandarin orange, you know, when we're eating this cake. So like I said, you're just going to fold this in really good. Just make sure that your oranges are good and distributed out through your cake mix. Then you're going to take a greased 9x13 pan. We're going to pour this over into our pan, and then you're just going to spread this out the best you can. And the icing, I mean, the cake mix it's a little bit fluffy, so don't let that scare you. It's supposed to be like that. We're going to pop that in the oven, and we're going to bake that for about 25-30 minutes, or until a toothpick comes out clean, okay? Then you're going to need to let that cool completely. So for the frosting for this, you need 1 can of crushed pineapple, and that's the 20-ounce can. Reserve 3/4 of a cup of the juice, okay? And so that's what I'm doing. I drained my can, my little strainer, over this bowl, and then I'm just scooping out my 3/4 of a cup, okay? And then you can just drink that if you want to, or use it in something else, or do whatever you want to do with it. But put 3/4 of a cup in your bowl. Then you're going to need 1 package, that's the small, I think it's 3.4 ounce or whatever, the smaller box of instant vanilla pudding mix, okay? Add that right over into your little pineapple juice, and then you're going to whisk this until it's good and combined. You want to make sure that you get the lumps out, because, you know, we usually have a whole lot more liquid when you're messing with pudding mix. But, you know, so just mix it in there. Just make sure it's in there really, really good, okay? And like I said, before you even start this step, make sure that your cake is completely cool, because we don't want to put this on top of the hot cake and it's just going to melt and turn to goo, okay? So mix that up really good. And then you're going to add in there some powdered sugar. Now, y'all know I've had some lumpy powdered sugar lately, so I'm going to sift mine. But if you don't want to sift yours, honey, you do you, okay? Y'all know I always tell y'all that. But you need a half a cup, okay? And like I said, I just put it in my little sifter. I love this little thing. You just kind of squeeze the little trigger on the handle right there, and it just does all the work for you, you know? And y'all know, y'all saw me the other day. If you watch my videos regularly, if y'all hear anything, it is thundering like crazy here. So if y'all hear something sounding angry in the background, that's Mother Nature. So we're just going to ignore her and keep on going. But anyway, I tried to sift with just like a little fine sieve, and I had powdered sugar everywhere, y'all. So if y'all can get y'all one of them little handy dandy things, I think I got that at Walmart 100 years ago, and it wasn't very much. It was like, I don't know, maybe less than $10 probably. So once you get your powdered sugar in there, get it real good and mixed up. And you know, when you're working with powdered sugar, it looks like you got too much, you know, solid to liquid, but just keep going, it'll be fine. Then you're going to add in half of this container of Cool Whip. That's an 8-ounce container. And I actually added a little bit extra, you know, because I just felt like it needed it in a minute, you know, once I get it stirred up. But you're just going to mix that in. I started trying to be real good and just kind of fold it in. You know, you see me there? I just was like, nope, can't do it. So I just started stirring. But, you know, again, do it however you want to do it. So then you're going to add in the pineapples. Remember, we drained our pineapple juice. We used a little bit of it. And y'all know I'm going to have all the measurements down in the description box like I always do for y'all. But y'all, this is the perfect summer cake. The perfect summer cake is all the fruit, like the oranges and the pineapple, and then that Cool Whip and stuff. Oh my gosh. And it's a lot of heavy ingredients, I feel like, but it's really light tasting, if that makes any sense. So if you need a good pig picking cake, if you're somebody's cooking a hog and you need to bring a dessert, or if somebody's having a barbecue and you want to contribute, everybody's going to love this cake. So make you one, okay? So once you get everything mixed in good, going to go ahead and dump that over the top of your cake. And again, I'll say it for the third time, make sure that your cake is cool. If your cake is warm, your Cool Whip is just going to melt and you're going to end up with a runny mess on top of your cake, okay? Just make sure it's cool. And then, of course, you're going to have to store this in the refrigerator if you have any leftovers. You know, if you take it for a big group, you're not going to have no leftovers. But if you have leftovers, make sure you put it in the fridge because of our Cool Whip and stuff that we have in there. But all you do is smooth that out the best you can. And then, like I said, cover it up, stick it in the fridge until you're ready to eat it. And I took, like I said, that extra can of mandarin oranges, and I just put a few right on top of the cake just to make it look kind of pretty. But y'all, I'm telling you, this cake is so dang good. My daughter told me I needed to make this, so here you go. Here you go, girl. I made it. But that's all I've got for y'all today, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.